Many times, people say things that sound beautiful, but deep down, they do not reflect reality. Words can deceive. They can be manipulated and used to create a false image. Actions, on the other hand, reveal the true essence of someone, because in them lies the coherence between speech and behavior. When we observe attitudes, we can see who truly values friendship, who has character, and who is only trying to appear trustworthy. That is why we should not cling only to what someone says, but rather analyze what that person does in their daily life. True love, respect, and loyalty are demonstrated through gestures, choices, and presence. This principle applies to relationships, business, and even dealing with ourselves. After all, the way we act reveals much more about who we are than any word we may pronounce. The future is not the result of a single great decision, but of the sum of small habits repeated daily. We often believe that it is enough to dream big for something to happen, but reality shows that it is our daily practices that define our path. Those who cultivate habits of study, discipline, and self-care are building a solid foundation for future achievements. On the other hand, harmful habits such as procrastination, disorganization, and self-sabotage can delay or even prevent goals from being reached. This happens because habits shape the mind and create patterns that repeat over time. Therefore, if we want a different future, we need to start by changing our routines. Small, consistent steps generate deep transformations. As the wise say, you do not decide your future, you decide your habits, and your habits decide your future. Silence and a smile are powerful tools to deal with life. A smile can disarm conflict, open doors, and spread positivity in difficult moments. Silence, on the other hand, avoids unnecessary discussions, prevents regret, and gives us time to reflect before acting. Being calm in tense situations is also a form of power. While most people react impulsively, those who remain serene are able to make better decisions. Wisdom lies in understanding that we do not need to respond to everything, nor allow ourselves to be carried away by provocations. Sometimes, the best answer is simply to observe and remain firm. Calmness conveys strength, and silence preserves energy. When used together, these tools protect us from emotional exhaustion and strengthen our posture in life. In this way, we act more with the mind and less with emotion. Believing in yourself is the key to overcoming the greatest challenges. Many times, we seek validation from others, hoping they will recognize or support our choices. However, true strength comes when we understand that we do not need others' approval to move forward. Self-confidence means taking risks, making mistakes, learning, and continuing, even when no one believes in us. It also means respecting yourself. If someone avoids you, do not insist or beg for attention. Emotional independence arises when we accept that not everyone will be by our side, but that does not diminish our worth. In solitude, we learn to know ourselves better and discover that we are capable of facing any situation. Those who believe in themselves inspire others and attract opportunities. Self-confidence is one of the greatest pillars for achieving freedom and fulfillment. In life, one of the greatest obstacles to achieving goals is the fear of failure. Many people stop trying simply because they fear judgment, shame, or the feeling of defeat. However, failure is not the end. It is only a step in the growth process. Each mistake carries with it a valuable lesson that brings us closer to wisdom and success. The real barrier is not the difficulty itself, but the paralysis caused by fear. When we accept that falling is part of the journey, we begin to see mistakes as part of the path. Starting over with experience is different from starting from scratch, because we carry with us lessons that prevent us from repeating failures. Dreams only become impossible when we let fear be greater than the will to fight. Overcoming this barrier is freeing yourself to create, dare, and transform your own life. Life is much lighter when we choose to live with truth. Lies, even small ones, always generate consequences that can destroy relationships, friendships, and even our self-esteem. Being honest with ourselves is the first step. Recognizing our mistakes, accepting our flaws, and not deceiving ourselves about who we are or what we want. Authenticity attracts people who truly value us, because it shows who we really are, without masks. A painful truth will always be better than a comfortable lie, because it allows us to make real decisions and build solid relationships. Furthermore, living in truth generates inner peace, since we do not need to carry the weight of pretending or hiding. Honesty is also the foundation of trust, and without trust, no relationship can thrive. Being truthful is choosing freedom instead of illusion. Not everyone around us is truly a friend or partner. Many times, it is in difficult moments that we discover who really cares for us. There are 3 types of people who mark our lives: those who help us, those who abandon us, and those who put us in trouble. Knowing how to identify these roles is essential to protect our energy and value those who truly matter. Authentic relationships are built on trust, loyalty, and reciprocity, not on interest or convenience. Spending time with people who love us unconditionally is one of life's greatest treasures. On the other hand, insisting on those who are only by our side in favorable moments is wasting vital energy. Cultivating true connections based on respect and mutual support is what really brings happiness and balance. Learning is a process that never ends. Life constantly teaches us lessons, whether through personal experiences, books, or the people we meet. Knowledge is a source of power, but it must be used with wisdom. True intelligence does not lie in knowing everything, but in recognizing that there is always more to learn. Those who believe they already know everything close themselves off to new opportunities and end up living in illusion. Wisdom is born from intellectual humility, curiosity, and practice. Furthermore, knowledge is one of the few treasures that no one can take from us. Reading, studying, and reflecting make us more prepared to face challenges and to help others. That is why cultivating the habit of continuous learning is essential to grow as individuals and to transform the world around us. Hope is a flame that keeps the heart alive, even in the midst of difficulties. It gives us the courage to believe that tomorrow can be better, and that there is always the possibility of starting over. Positive thinking does not mean ignoring problems, but choosing to see opportunities in the face of challenges. Resilience comes into play as the ability to adapt, overcome setbacks, and keep moving forward. By changing our thoughts, we also change our reality, because we attract new perspectives and solutions. Hopeful people tend to persist more, and persistence is precisely what leads them to achieve their goals. Hope reminds us that no pain is eternal, that nothing lasts forever, and that even in the darkest moments, we can still find a light that guides us forward. Life is fleeting, and understanding this truth helps us value the present more. Many times, we get lost in worries and forget that nothing is permanent, neither problems nor joys. Death should not be seen only as loss, but as part of the natural cycle of existence. The true failure is not dying, but letting our essence, our dreams, and passions die within us while we are still alive. Finding purpose is what gives meaning to this journey. Loving, learning, sharing, and leaving a positive legacy are ways of immortalizing our presence in the world. When we understand that each day is a unique opportunity, we begin to live with more gratitude and intensity. The purpose is not only to achieve things, but to become someone who inspires and transforms the lives of others.